Yo, Eric Singleton is in the boat at Auburn. How does this upgrade the offense? And what can we expect from him? Water Cooler Talk podcast coming up next. Let's go.
Going live.
With the coolest podcast.
The Water Cooler Talk podcast. The coolest podcast.
In your ear.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I am one half of the Water Cooler Talk podcast, Nick Frazier. Thank y'all again for rocking with me here tonight, man. Eric Singleton, he's in the boat at Auburn, man. The number one wide receiver in the portal finally has committed. Well, finally has signed the papers to come to Auburn, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Singleton, for choosing Auburn and coming in and upgrading this wide receiver room, man. I'm so excited, man. Thank y'all again for rocking with us here, man. Hit the Water Cooler Talk podcast. As always, man, follow us on Twitter, X at CoolerSpot23. Follow us on Instagram at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk podcast Facebook page. And of course, subscribe, like, and share this video and hit the notification bell here on YouTube so we can grow, glow, and just keep bringing you as much accurate information as we possibly can about Auburn and the SEC. Hey, man, this is a great day, man. Woke up this morning and had the notification bell set on my phone. It was like 5:53, 5:54, and it said Eric Singleton has signed with Auburn, man. Man, listen, let me tell you, man, this is a big pickup for Auburn's room, man. This is great. This brings this. Listen, we have been expecting this almost like 5-6 days now. We just been waiting to see what happens with Mr. Singleton, man. But he has signed his intent to come play football at Auburn, man. He is in the boat, and man, let's talk about how this helps Auburn, how this upgrades the team, how this could this be a potential game changer on the offensive side of the ball that makes Auburn a playoff contender. Man, it's interesting. Let's talk about it, man. So let's get to it first. Let's talk about it first, man. How does this upgrade the offense with Eric Singleton in the room? All right. As you all know, Eric Singleton is from Douglasville, Georgia, played at Georgia Tech. Coming to Auburn this year. How does he upgrade the room? It adds another playmaker on that side of the ball. A guy that can play slot, a guy that can play on the outside, a guy that can basically do everything in the book. He's like a Swiss Army knife. Almost kind of like Malcolm Simmons. It's like having another Malcolm Simmons on the field. So, I mean, man, this is going to be good, man. I'm excited about this, man. Listen, man, this is a game changer on the offensive side of the ball for Auburn, man. He is electric with the football in his hands. Last year, he was just the best player on the offense for Georgia Tech. He was everywhere. I mean, double team, triple team sometimes, and was still making plays on the ball, still catching the ball deep downfield, still getting around on the jet sweeps, still making the tough catches, going up, catching the ball. He can climb the ladder. He can, even if the ball was not in his vicinity, he was going to get the ball. He's a playmaker. He's a baller. As the thumbnail on this video says, he's a baller. A baller. Man, how else does this upgrade the room? His ability to go downfield and complete the deep shot. Now, we all know that Hugh Freeze in this offense wants to take the deep shot, wants the big play. I've always said, in order for this offense to be efficient, Hugh Freeze wants to complete at least 2 big plays per quarter, if not more. And so now what do you add with a proven guy who has done it on the P4 level in Eric Singleton? A guy that can go downfield and make those catches. A guy that can make the contested catches. A guy that can go out and make the difficult catches. A guy that can, if you just put it in his area, like I said earlier, he will go get the football. So, man, I'm telling you, man, this is a big pickup for Auburn right now, man. Like, I don't know if we are going to really appreciate how big of a pickup this is for Auburn with Eric Singleton until we actually see it on the field in the fall of 2025. Like, we talk about it all the time about, man, he's fast. Number one receiver in the portal. Could this dude potentially get 1,000 yards? Is he going to be able to replace the production that Keandre Lambert-Smith left? I'm telling you, watching this kid from his freshman year at Georgia Tech to last year at Georgia Tech, this is going to be the ultimate safety blanket for whoever's the starting quarterback at Auburn, which we all assume will be Jackson Arnold. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be great. Another thing that upgraded offense, this ability to play anywhere in the offense. He could potentially line up. I think he played more outside even last year at Georgia Tech. I mean, he's 6 foot, about 190, 192 pounds, roughly. This guy can go up. This guy can go, and his ability to just play anywhere on the line. It's like having a Malcolm Simmons clone. It's like having 2 Malcolm Simmons on the field. If you can put both of them on the field at the same time, how does a defense game plan for that? This is what we were talking about with the freeze 4. This is what we talk about with the freeze 4. If you have all that talent on the field, how can a defense game plan, and how can they guard that? I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be big, man. This is big. I'm telling y'all, man, get ready, Auburn. Get ready. I feel like what we expected from Hugh Freeze on the offensive side of the ball, of what he wanted to do. Now that you have Cam Coleman back, now that you have Malcolm Simmons back, now that you have Eric Singleton in the fold, now that you potentially have now we get to see the progression of a Perry Thompson, a Horatio Fields, now, and even a Bryce Kane. That's 6 guys right there that you're gonna have to try to find out how to get the ball, because they're just so talented. You can't keep them off the field. You can't do it. This is gonna be exciting to watch, man. I'm telling y'all, man. I don't think we are going to appreciate it until we actually see it. Just how it was with Keandre Lambert-Smith. I don't think we really appreciated it until we was like, oh my God. Oh man. Like, we see this. Like, this guy can really play. Like, this guy he could be a true number 1 receiver. Like, it's gonna be nice to see, man. Let's take a look at some of the comments, man. Appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us in the comment. Auburn Dad for life, man. Shout out to you, man. War Eagle to you, man. Huggy Beard, what's going up, man? What's going on, man? Hope everything good with you, man. I got King Richard in the chat, man. He said, what's up, man? What's up, War Eagle, man? War Eagle to you, King Richard, man. DC from Auburn Addicts in the chat, man. A lot of 10 personnel or someone not ready. I'm telling you right now, man. This is a true statement right here. We potentially can see a lot of 5 wide sets with these guys. We'll get into that a little bit later on, because I got a graphic, and we got a graphic of what this wide receiver room looks like, what it potentially could look like coming back, depending on if nobody else goes into the portal. Like, this could be really, really exciting to watch at Auburn, man. King Richard comes back and said, man, no excuses next year. All fingers will be pointed at the coaches. Said a mouthful right there, King Richard. You said a mouthful right there. If there is no excuse going forward this year. You have the talent, and this is proven talent of guys that have actually played at the high level. Cam Coleman played last year. Malcolm Simmons got run last year. Horatio Fields came from a P4 school. Eric Singleton came from a P4 school. So now there is no excuse. There is no excuse. You went and got the quarterback. You went and upgraded the offensive line. There is no excuse this year to where Auburn should not be able to at least win 8-9 games. I'm saying 9. I'm telling you, there is no excuse. I think Auburn can win 9 games. And if the ball bounces the right way in some games, it could possibly be 10. It possibly could be 10. So I'm telling you, man, there is no excuse. I'm telling you, this is going to be an exciting year, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all get ready for it. I might be bugging a little bit, but I'm excited, man. Shout out to the king of the comments, Travell, in the comments, man. He said, no excuse, just win. Ain't that what Al Davis said? Just win, baby, win. We just got to win. We tired of this mediocrity at Auburn, man. We're tired of it. We want to be perennial college football playoff contenders and participants. We want to be in that conversation. We need to be in that conversation. We deserve to be in that conversation.
For the water board.
Gatorade.
Y'all get ready, bro.
Too old.
It is going to be an interesting. Oh man, the thing is I didn't hit it. It started playing my what's the name, but it's cool, man. Yeah, the Waterboy Award. It is what it is. Travell, King of the Comments, said 9 of 10 and beat Bama, and we got to go. Or he got to go. I'm telling you, man. I believe with these additions, Auburn has the chance to win 9 games. And if the ball bounces the right way in some games, Auburn has a chance to win 10 games. This is a favorable schedule. It is a favorable schedule. I'm telling you, man. Auburn Dad for Life, man, came in and said, win or get fired for Freeze. That's why you open the pocketbook. This is a do or die year. Year 3, which I believe for Hugh Freeze was not what he wanted to be in this season. I don't think this was supposed to be how it was going. I think it was supposed to be showing progression each year, and we regressed last year. So hopefully, we see some improvement this year, man. Ken Richard said, I say the floor should be higher with the amount of talent on the Plains. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that, but you got to temper the expectations based on what happened last year, the past 2 seasons. I mean, yes, you do have a quarterback that's coming in to replace the quarterback that you had, a 2-year starting quarterback that you had that we all can kind of say that we were not, the most fond of. Shout out to Payne Thorne. But you also upgraded that talent around him. You also upgraded the offensive line. The defense has been progressing. See, it seems as if the defense is continuing to get better. So now it's just a matter of time. Can we put it all together? Can the coaching staff put together a game plan every week? And they put together something that makes us competitive on the field, man. I'm telling you, man. All right, man. Let's move along, man. Let's take a look at some of Eric Singleton's highlights here, man. I'm telling you, man. This guy could potentially be a game changer, man. His impact. What is his impact? His impact can be bigger than what we all expect, man. This guy could literally take the top off of a defense. This guy could be the number 1 receiver. He can come in and be the guy that literally just, can be the decoy for what we want to do with Cam Coleman. This guy can be the guy that comes in and he possibly could play running back some. Like I look at him more of like an athlete than anything. This guy legitimately is an athlete playing wide receiver. Like he's that good, man. Like this is something that like I'm trying to think of an athlete that we've had at this position in the past that has basically changed the game like this. Would you say Ontario McCaleb? What would have been a guy like that? Could Ontario McCaleb have been something like that? Corey Grant, maybe. I'm trying to think of somebody recently who could have done what we potentially can see Eric Singleton do in an offense like this. Like, have we had somebody like this before? Keandre Lambert-Smith, like, was he able to? What was he as fast as Eric Singleton? Was he able to, play inside and outside? I mean, Malcolm, the closest comp that I got to right now on the offensive side is Malcolm Simmons. I think Malcolm Simmons is the guy. I literally think you put both of these guys on the field at the same time, it's gonna be hard to determine. You're looking at his stats right here, man. In 2023, 48 receptions, 714 yards, 6 touchdowns, average about 14.9 yards per catch. 2024, he had about 56 receptions. He had 56 receptions, 754 yards, 3 touchdowns, 13.5 yards per catch. And then for his career average for the 2 years he's been at Georgia Tech, 52 receptions, 734 yards, 4.5 touchdowns, 14.2 yards per catch. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. I'll take that. I'll take that right now. I'll take that. But what other impact does he have? He's a mismatch problem. He's a problem. He can play inside. He can play outside. You can potentially line him up in the backfield. You can use him on the jet sweep. You can use him in the RPO game. Like, this guy really is a difference maker in this offense, man. And another impact he has is recruiting. in recruiting of the guys that you want to come in. If Hugh Freeze in this offense, Hugh Freeze, Derek Nix, Kent Austin, just don't. If these guys use him correctly, there's no telling what the 2027 guy, what the 2028 guy, what the 2030, the 2029 guy is looking at this right now saying, I want to go play for those guys because they utilize this guy. They are putting him, they put him in the best position to succeed, and he's going to the NFL. This guy could literally change the wide receiver room for Auburn. Not saying that Cam Coleman can, because I believe Cam Coleman can too. I believe Malcolm Simmons can too. I believe Perry Thompson. I believe Bryce can too. If this is a good problem to have, this is a good problem to have when you have those type of guys in the room, because now you are at no expense, no excuses. There's no expense. There's nothing that you can say to where that you cannot get the football to one of your playmakers. And this is what this guy is. He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. Like, this is gonna be exciting, man. This is gonna be exciting for Auburn fans. This is gonna be exciting for Auburn in the SEC coming up, man. I honestly believe what Hugh Freeze wants to do with this offense. This is the type of guy, especially paired with a Cam Coleman, with a Malcolm Simmons, with a Horatio Fields, with the Perry Thompson. Like, this is what's going to make Hugh Freeze's offense pop at Auburn. The question is, can he put those guys in the correct position for them to be successful? That's the question. That's always been the question we had with Hugh Freeze. Can you, Hugh Freeze, put your guys in the best position to be successful? You have the talent now. You have the guys to do it. Let's make it happen. You went out. Shout out to Will Redmond for going out and helping put together this recruiting class, this transfer portal class as well. This year is going to be a pivotal year for Auburn. From recruiting, from scheme wise, from going forward, this is going to be a pivotal year for Auburn football. And I hope Hugh Freeze, Ken Austin, Derek Nix, I hope this offensive staff is up to the task and they are ready to take the challenge and move on, man. This is gonna be special, man. Ken Richard said, man, he gave Georgia I can't say that on here. Defense. He gave a defense fits. Yes, he did, man. He did. It's me said Tight sent me over here. Said you didn't know much about football being AU fans. Man, shout out to Tight, but it is what it is. Tight. It is what it is. I guess, man. Kenyatta Watson needs a lot of credit for this one. You're correct. It's the behind the scenes guys, the Will Redmonds, the Kenyatta Watsons, man. Those guys, man, that's in the office every day, that have these connections with these coaches, that have these connections with these players and their families, that's able to put Auburn over the top. It was reported that it came down. He visited Texas and he visited Ole Miss. Reported by Christian Clemente that he visited Texas, he visited Ole Miss, and it just didn't have the same allure. I believe that's the word that he used. It just didn't have the same allure as Auburn. Came back to Auburn, wanted to see. He was only supposed to spend like 2 hours in Auburn, but ended up spending 7 hours. I'm telling you, man, it's this guy. And then at the end, Georgia Tech tried to, come up with some NIL on the back end to try to keep him, but he ended up giving his commitment to Auburn apparently over the weekend. This is great, man. This is gonna be good. Here's the question. Here's another question that we have. Can he be a 1,000-yard receiver in this offense? Here's the returning receiver room. Here's the receiver room returning. Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, Bryce Kane, Sam Jackson the fifth, Dylan Gentry, Cameron King, Will Upton, Jake Krause, Kobe Stafford. And then the additions, of course, Eric Singleton Jr., Horatio Fields, Derek Smith, Eric Smith, Sam Turner, Can Eric Singleton be a 1,000-yard receiver? Yes, he can be. Will he be a 1,000-yard receiver? I don't know. If I had to pick right now, I would probably say he would probably be somewhere between that 850 to 900 yards. I believe that you're going to have to give Cam Coleman's going to have to get his touches. Malcolm Simmons is going to get his touches. You got to incorporate Perry Thompson some kind of way into this offense. Horatio Fields is going to have to get some touches as well. Eric Singleton is explosive. He's an explosive player. So you're going to have to figure out, this is a great problem to have. And of course, you got to incorporate Bryce Cain. That's 6 guys that you got to get passes to. Will he be 1,000 yards? Unless he just comes out here and just tears it up. Unless he just comes out here and tears it up and has the opportunity and just takes over, then he potentially could be. He potentially could be a 1,000-yard receiver. But if you ask me right now, I honestly believe that he's probably going to be somewhere around that 850 to 900 yard range right now. Right now, if you ask me. This is where I see it at. That's just where I see it. Auburn Dad for Life came in and said some of Singleton yards going to be speed sweeps. Yep, because those do count as passes. That is true. So yeah, so he could that can add up. Bubba, shout out to Bubba and the old man for coming in. He said, don't care whether he's a 1,000-yard guy or not. Personally, I doubt he is. I think Cam gets closer, and I don't think we have 2 1,000-yard guys. That's not what this offense produces. It's too balanced. Yeah, I agree with you there. Okay, except for the balance part, because I honestly believe that Hugh Freeze wants to throw the ball more than he wants to run the ball. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I honestly believe that right there. 2,000-yard receivers in this offense. If that's the case, then that means Jackson Arnold is somewhere probably 3,900 yards at the end of the season. Probably 29 to 31 touchdowns. I don't know if we see that in this offense. Maybe we can. Just interested, maybe. We'll see. But also what this does for what in addition, like Eric Singleton does for the potential starter in Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold can now know that this could potentially be his safety blanket. You have a Cam Coleman, you have an Eric Singleton, you have a Malcolm Simmons. Those guys can be your safety blanket. You know, if you can just put it anywhere in the area where they are, that they're going to go and get the football. They're going to go get the football. So this helps Jackson Arnold a lot as well too. If Jackson Arnold, if he feels as if he can, if I can get the ball anywhere in the vicinity of those guys, I trust them enough to where they can go and get the football. They can make a play on the football, and they can turn that play on the football into yards after the catch and maybe touchdowns. These guys can potentially make plays that don't look like they could be touchdowns into touchdowns or into big plays. Man, this is going to be an exciting time at Auburn. Eric Singleton Jr. is in the boat. I'm telling you, man, get ready, because I'm telling you, I think Auburn is about to light up the scoreboard this season. You saw it this past season. The yards per game, the points just didn't match. The end results just didn't match. I criticized this offense early on in the season. I said maybe it was a scheme problem, and to a degree, I still believe that there's a scheme problem once you get in the red zone. I still believe that. But between the 20s, this offense is on point. It's on point. So I sit here and I say, man, I say this: if Auburn can get everybody to be efficient, if Auburn can get the best out of everybody, if Auburn can limit the turnovers, which we hope Jackson Arnold, who's a potential starter, could do. And if you get the ball to bounce in your favor a couple of times during the season, I believe Auburn can win 9 to 10 games. I believe they can. And I'm sticking to that. Let's take a look at the chat, man. Let's see what's going on, man. Bubba came in. He gave us some predictions. He said Cam 950. Okay, Eric Singleton 800. Malcolm at 450, Perry at 350, and Fields at 350. If that's the case, if my math is correct on that, that is 7, 11, 19. That's roughly about 2,800, right at 3,000 yards, a little bit under 3,000 yards for Jackson Arnold in passing. 3,000 yards, 23, 24 touchdowns. Is that enough for Auburn to win 9 games? Is that enough for Auburn to win 9, 10 games? Tell me in the chat what y'all think. Huggy Beard said, I'm with you on that one, Nick. Hugh Freeze trying to throw the ball more than he run. Yeah, man. I agree with you on that. Auburn Dad for Life said, we see that we in the playoffs. I'm guessing you're talking about what I said earlier. If Jackson Arnold is like 3,800, 3,900 yards, 29 to 31 touchdowns. Yes, if that's the case, we're in the playoffs. We definitely 10 wins. And possibly got a Heisman Trophy contender on our hands if that's the case. So it is what it is. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just try to win a game first. Let's win. Let's win the spring. Let's win spring practice first, and then we'll make it done. Ismi said NIL is going to ruin the pros. These kids are rich. Why risk the body? I mean, the money that these guys are getting in college and NIL is nothing compared to what they'll get when they get to the NFL. NFL is life-changing money at certain positions. Quarterback, left tackle, right tackle, and anybody that rushes the quarterback. If you are in those positions, you are able to get life-changing money because those are some of the most important positions in the NFL. King Richard said, I would say that this is the most talent at Auburn since the 04-05 team. Okay. 04-05. What about 04-05? Yeah, because in that 04-05 team, you had Jason Campbell, Carnell Williams, Ronnie Brown, Ben Obamanu, Devin Aroma-Shadu. On the defensive side, Junior Rose Green, Will Herring. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dontarius Thomas was on that team. I think Quinn Groves had just got to Auburn then. Stanley McClover. All those guys was on that team. So, yeah, I mean, I see where you coming from, but would we say the 2013 team? Would the 2013 team be in there as well? I don't know. Tell me what you think in the chat, man. Tight Sports said, hey, Nick, so he's gonna go from 1,400 yards to nearly 4,000. I never said that. I said, what if he did that? And with the talent around him, there's a possibility he can. I mean, that like these guys, if he gets in trouble and he has the opportunity to go and just know that I have these guys, these are my security blankets. If I can just get the ball in their area, they will go out and they will get the ball for me. And let's be honest about Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold last year did not have his full bevy of receivers for majority of the season. I don't think he played with all his starting receivers at the beginning for any part of the season. And the fact that his offense coordinator was fired in the middle of the season. And that's something that the Auburn staff said about Jackson Arnold. They felt that he was misused at Oklahoma. So they feel like in this system that they want to run, that they have that is better for him and that he can thrive. We'll see. Bubba said it's me. Kids been getting paid for decades. It ain't affecting anything yet. Agree with that. They've been getting paid way before the NIL transfer portal era. Huggy Beard, man, King Richard, that's a bold statement. That 014 was stacked with talent. Man, it was stacked with talent. It was a lot of NFL draft picks in that class too. I forgot Carlos Rogers, if I'm not mistaken, was on that team. The Thorpe Award winner was on that team as well. So I mean, I'm telling you, this is going to be interesting, man. Let's get through all of it. Tight Sports. What's the over under for Jackson on yards? Vegas got to run that line. On passing yards, Jackson's over under on passing yards. I would probably say, I think a safe bet. I would probably say a safe bet right now would probably be about 28. I would put Jackson on at like 2750, 2800, somewhere around there. Over under that number. I probably say I'd be comfortable with taking the number on that. Tight Sports at under 3,000 is more like it. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you basically answered the question for me. I got you tight. I see. Ed Darby came in and said, with the wide receiver core we have now, it would be criminal not to see some bunch sets this year. Man, look, I'm gonna put it back up on the screen right here, man. I'm gonna put it back up on the screen. Look at what this wide receiver room is going to look like, bro. Look at it. Look at this wide receiver room. Returning Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, Bryce Kane. Look at this, man. And then who you got coming in? I mean, I'm naming the guys who's probably gonna get a lot of run in returning. I mean, shout out to Cameron King, shout out to Dylan Gentry, shout out to Sam Jackson, shout out to Kobe Stafford and Jake Cruz and Will Upton. Shout out to those guys. But those top four, they gonna get the most run. And then and look at who's coming back. I mean, look at who's just been added, man. The number one receiver in the portal, Eric Singleton. Horatio Fields, who's not a scrub himself. That's a big body guy, 6'3", 210 pounds. Derek Smith, who can potentially be a two-way player. He can play both sides of the field. He can play both sides. He can and shout out to Dustin from the Uptempo podcast. Who Dustin thinks he's probably better on the defensive side of the ball. I'm telling you, man. A lot of talent is at Auburn. His brother, Eric Smith, and who I say could possibly be the gem of this class, Sam Turner from Georgia. I'm telling you, man, there is an opportunity. Auburn is stacking talent, and that's something that Hugh Freeze said. He said he wanted to stack talent. And when you stack talent, you got to compete, because now a lot of talent may not see the field. But when you have that talent, you got to be able to produce. So I'm telling you, this is going to be an exciting year for Auburn. This is going to be an exciting year, man. I'm telling y'all, man, get ready, Auburn fans. Get ready. You about to go into an era that we ain't been in a long time. I feel it. Hopefully I'm right. Bubba said, don't forget tight ends and backs catching backs, pass out the backfield. We'll expect about 500 from that group. Listen, Darrell Robinson, Jeremiah Cobb. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be this. I mean, we just signed Preston Howard from Maryland. This is going to be the offense that Hugh Freeze wants to run. He has the athletes there. And the most important part about it, he has the athletes from places that have had experience playing in this level of competition. No more it's nothing against the G5, but these ain't G5 receivers that he going to get. Horatio Fields coming from Wake Forest. Eric Singleton coming from Georgia Tech. Preston Howard coming from Maryland. So I believe that was intentional, man. How are your offensive tackles looking? Man, tight. We just signed an NFL tackle, Xavier Chaplin, 6'7", 330-some pounds at left tackle. Mason Murphy at the right side, who possibly could start, but I believe he'll probably be more of a depth piece. Broderick Scholl from Oklahoma, who's a freshman coming from Oklahoma, who I believe could be in the 2 deep right now coming up. DeAndre Carter gonna be at guard. And we still in the running for a Josh Thompson, if he hasn't signed anywhere already. But I believe he's still on the market. Josh Thompson, who could play either guard or tackle if he decides to come to Auburn. I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be good. How much would Thorne earn in the NFL? I don't know if Thorne would get to the NFL right now. He'll probably be a UFL guy and probably make his way there. Bubba said, let's get to this one. Bubba said most unbalanced season was his last year at Ole Miss, 40 passes, 35 rushes. That's still relatively balanced. His 10-win season was 37 passes, 35 rushes. We ain't going Mike Leach air raid. No, I'm not saying we going Mike Leach air raid, but I think Hugh Freeze is gonna want to throw the ball a little bit more than he want to run. And I mean, he kind of made. I mean, if you looking at this past season, it looks like that. That's the feeling that we got from him. Yep, Carlos Rogers was on that team too. Shout out to Chevelle. Rogers Liberal podcasts have changed the game for athletes more than NIL. They can do a sports podcast and stack the bank, especially if they played in the NFL. Man, yeah, you got a lot of guys. That's it, man. Look at all the guys that's in media now. Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco, the nightcap. Cam Newton. on every Friday on First Take. You know, Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Michael Irvin over on Fox. I mean, it's great. It's great, man. We just trying to be a part of it. We just trying to bring out accurate information, man. So appreciate y'all, man. Subscribe to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post, man. Bubba said camp players usually make a couple thousand. I expect him to get into a rookie mini camp. He could have a decent pro NFL career otherwise if he pursues it. Talking about Peyton Thorne, I think Peyton Thorne probably ends up in the UFL before he gets to the NFL. He could get a training camp deal with a team, probably get on the scout team. And he if he does that, he'll be pretty well. And Peyton Thorne could possibly be one of those. He could possibly be one of those stories to where he rises up and then it becomes like one of those great journeyman NFL quarterbacks in the NFL. He possibly could be that as well. Auburn Dad for life. Shout out to you, my guy. He said he beat Bama with his legs. Now add throwing to a good wide receiver. That's what I'm saying, man. And the thing about this too, with Jackson Arnold, he's not gonna have to be able to run the ball as much. I think he had 145 carries last year, attempts. Like, I don't expect Jackson Arnold to run the ball that much this year at Auburn. It's too much talent. It's too much speed. It's too much athleticism around him in order for him to do that. Let's get the ball to those guys. Let them run. Carlos Rogers, Thorpe Award. Yeah. He did win a Thorpe Award. He was a part of that 05 team. King Rich said, have his number 14 AE jersey sign hanging in the frame on my wall. Hey, if you want to send that to me, King, let me know. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. Bubba said he agreed with, I think he agreed with Dustin on Derek better at safety, in my opinion. I tell you this, man. I tell you this about that. I think Travis Hunter has done something in college football that's gonna have a lot of guys thinking, because Derek Smith, like you said, is plays defensive side of the ball as well, but he's also a really good wide receiver. Could we potentially have a two-way star at Auburn? Why not give him a shot? But that's gonna be something that the offensive staff is gonna have to okay. I mean, let the kid play. If he good on both sides, let that man play, man. Let the man play. Travell, shout out to King of the Comment, said we about to be a passing team. West Coast RPO run and shoot. Can you say Auburn Air? Hey, you know what? That makes sense. You know what? King of the Comments, you need to copyright that, because Auburn get ready to sign. Auburn switching over to Nike. So Auburn Air or Air Auburn. I'm telling you. You might want to copyright that. He said, and we might get Too Tall back. It's also, man. So listen, man. I'm telling you, man. If that happened, this offensive line is gonna be set, bro. It's gonna be set. It'll give the young guys time to develop. Excuse me. It won't put much pressure on them. You can use Too Tall. You can get a Dylan Wade. Jeremiah Wright seems to be heading back to Auburn. You can go put Chaplin at tackle. You know, this if that's the case, man, bro. And I'm just looking at this from a perspective, because you look at what the problem was with Auburn last year: quarterback play, offensive line. And it seems that we've went and solidified the left tackle position. It looks like we've solidified the quarterback position. And now you've added talent on the outside, and you've added running backs in the backfield. You added a running back in the backfield, and you got an athletic tight end that can go out and catch. I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead, but it seems as if it looks like it's about to change. It looks like it's about to flip over. But we still got to get through spring. Let's win the spring first. Huggy Beard said, man, shout out to Raw Room with Darren Bates and King Dunlap. Shout out to them guys, man. Hopefully we can get them on the podcast. We'll put it out in the atmosphere, man. Let the universe and let the Lord do his work. Peyton has played a lot of football. You never know. That's the thing. When you got those type of guys like Peyton Thorne, who has played a lot of football, who knows a lot of football, if he gets into a situation that in a rookie minicamp, he gets into a situation that he is able to showcase that talent, even though we all know he doesn't have the strongest arm. even though we all know he's not the most accurate, but he thinks the game through. He's able to think the game through. If he gets that, he shows that, you never know what can happen. He could become he could literally become a journeyman in the NFL and have a really nice career. And we'll be like, yeah, that man played at Auburn. And all the stuff we talked about him, we'll be sitting there praising him like, yep, we put him in the NFL. We sure did. Not knowing all the stuff that Auburn people said about him because he couldn't win games. But it is, man. Shout out to Peyton Thorne. I look forward to Air Auburn. Air 10 did well against the Tide. I'm telling you, man, I might need to trademark that, man. Fats Tight, knowing that much football and having that experience can get you in the building. There's a lot of pro football leagues out there. Yeah, I'm telling you. Peyton Thorne got a chance, man. Shout out to DC from Auburn Addicts. He said, already copyrighted it. Too late, King. Hey, I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait for this Nike haul to drop for Auburn because I'm about to get a bunch of it. And plus, I'm trying to upgrade my background. So hopefully within the next 4 to 6 months, it will be different. You'll be looking like, is he in the same place? Trust me, we're gonna get this thing going, man. We trying to take it to a whole nother level. I'm telling you, man. Let's go. Auburn Dad for life, man. NCAA just gave all JUCO players an extra year. What? I didn't read that. I missed that. I need to go look that up. Woo! Middle District of Tennessee. All right, let's see what happened, man. This is the most critical part. We have to stay healthy. If we can stay healthy, if Eric Singleton, if Cam Coleman, if Malcolm Simmons, if Perry Thompson, if Horatio Fields, if Bryce Kane, if Xavier Chaplin, if Connor Lew, if Dylan Wade, if Jeremiah Wright, if DeAndre Carter, if Mason Murphy, if Jackson Arnold, Jeremiah Cobb, Darrell Robinson. I would go through the whole defense, but we'll be here another 3 minutes. If we can stay healthy, man, Auburn has a chance. I'm telling you, I honestly believe with the talent around, Auburn should win 9 games. And if you can get the ball to bounce your way a couple of times, Auburn can win 10 games. And if you win 10 games, you are in the college football playoff conversation. You in it. I'm telling you, man. Auburn got a chance. Auburn has a chance. I'm not trying to hype myself up too much because I'm not trying to get too excited. But when you look at what this staff has done, which we all know they can recruit, if you look at what they've done, the talent that they putting out there, what we have seen them do, this is not no G5. These are guys that have played at the Power 4 level. They played against the same competition, which is the conversation that we always have in college football. So let's go do that. They played at the same competition. They played there. If we can get these guys, if these guys can stay healthy, Auburn can be a real threat in the SEC this year. And then the thing about it is, this is also a good thing as well. This is also a good thing as well, too, with having this much talent. If a guy does go down, you have a guy who is talented enough to step in and still give the production that guy is, that guy that you losing from, the guy that is either hurt or sick or whatever. I'm telling you, man, there's no excuses this year for this Auburn coaching staff. There's no excuses. Auburn Dad said, man, Air 10 last made the playoffs, even if they got destroyed in it. Bruh, let's not talk about that, bruh. Bruh, that was bad to watch. Woo. Bubba said, Nick, don't worry about the background. Me and the old man stood in front of a sheet with holes in it as our background for a long time. Man, listen, man. I do this. I appreciate y'all, man. So I want to at least give back. And I want y'all to have a great experience when y'all come and sit around the water cooler with me and Marcus and everybody that come around and sit with us, man. I want y'all to have a great experience. I want y'all to look at it and be aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So I'm doing everything I can to invest back into the channel. And we want y'all to be great, man. Shout out to the Sharpshooters podcast, man. I don't know why he's putting up the Thinking logo. I got a feeling, I don't know what that's for, but I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking. Bubba said 10 wins, you're in. Get it done, Hugh. I'm telling you, man. Auburn wins 10 games, and I'm gonna go from here. With the outcry that happened in the college football playoff this year, with the SMUs, with the Indianas, with what potentially could happen with a Boise State, with what potentially could happen with an Arizona State. If Auburn win 10 games, I think Auburn's in. Because some kind of way, I don't think the committee is going to not put more than 4 SEC teams in this year. So if you 10 wins in the SEC, you probably in. But that's a whole that's a whole nother show. We'll talk about that at another time, man. Hey, Eric Singleton is in the boat, man. Eric Singleton is an Auburn Tiger, man. I'm telling you, this is Auburn family, Auburn faithful. Hugh Freeze told you at the beginning it was going to take him 3 recruiting classes to get it done, to get the talent that he wanted. He said by year 3 of recruiting, if they were not number 5, if they were not top 10 or top 7, that they will all be looking for jobs. They had the number 6 recruiting class this year. Add the transfer portal into it. Hugh Freeze is doing that part. He's accumulating talent. Now, Hugh Freeze, as I always separated, great job on the recruiting side of accumulated talent. Now it's time for us, and I say us because we behind you, because we the Auburn family. It's time for us to put proof of concept on the field. It's time for us to put this talent in the best position to win and to showcase it. Because when you do that, other players from the 2027, the 2026, the 2028, the 2029, the 2030, maybe even the 2035 recruiting class is looking at this saying, if they are putting that guy in the best position to compete, in the best position to win, in the best position to improve his stock, I want to go and be a part of that. And if you win on top of it, it's icing on the cake. It's time for Auburn to stop being a fledgling, mediocre, middle of the pack SEC team. It's time for Auburn to take their rightful place of where they're supposed to be at. In the top of the conference, the top third of the conference. It's time for them to be there, man. You have a powerful brand. You have a brand. Use it. Do what's best for the team, man. It's time to do that. So, man, listen, man, I'm excited. Everybody, let's make it happen. Let's get excited. And I'm telling you, this is going to be exciting. The potential is there. The potential is there. But as Bubba said earlier, have to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. Of course, we got to put that proof of concept on the field around it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here, man. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk as well, man. Follow us on Facebook at The Water Cooler Talk Podcast, and subscribe, like, and share the video here on YouTube, and hit the notification bell so you know when we post more videos, man, and go live. We are trying to hit 500 before the end of the year. I think we're like 41, 42 people away from it. So if you don't mind, tell your friends to tell your friends to tell their friends, tell their uncles and their cousins and everybody to come on over around the water cooler and see what we got going on, and just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, watch a couple of videos, let us know what you think about it, man. We appreciate y'all so much. As always, let's get this one. I think we got a couple of comments that popped up before we get up out of here. Let's take a look and see what's going on, man. Oh, Bubba saying, see you later, Kinfolk. See you later, man. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. tomorrow. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we when we go live. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. with another show. So we'll see you then, man. NFL won't allow a power 2 playoff. They are the power 2 playoff. If y'all want to hear a great soliloquy on that, go over to Tight Sports and listen to that. I think he talked about that a couple of shows back. Go listen to it. Go listen to that. I think he made some good points on that. But go listen to that and tell me what y'all think about it. It's about to be our time. War Eagle, man. War Eagle, man. It's time. It's time, man. It's time. Man, it is what it is, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Tight better learn them G7 term. The term G7. That's what it is, because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the group of 7, and then it's just gonna be the Big 10 and the SEC. I'm telling y'all, man, this is crazy, man. Oh man, shout out to Tight, man. That's great. That's great. We appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell so you know when we post. We'll be back tomorrow 7 p.m. Here around the water cooler, man. And we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. For everybody in the chat, Bubba and the old man, Ed Darby, Tight Sports, King Richard, Huggy Beard, excuse me, Sharp Shooters, man. Shout out to all y'all, man, that came in the chat, man. DC from Auburn Addicts, Auburn Dad for Life, man. We appreciate y'all. The king of the comments, Travell, man. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us. It's me for coming over and hanging out with us a little bit, man. We thank y'all again for coming over here and rocking with me, man, and giving us some of your time and just sitting around the water cooler with us, man. If I'm too much appreciative, man, just know, like I said, I always say, man, y'all don't have to give me this time, and I appreciate y'all so much for coming over. So I'm always gonna be appreciative of y'all coming over and all y'all deciding to hit the subscribe button and just giving us a little bit of your time as we talk Auburn football and talk other things around the SEC, around the SEC conference as well. But man, thank y'all again, man. And until tomorrow at 7 p.m., if it's the Lord's will, y'all have a good one, man. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed. One love. And we out this mother.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so you know when we post more videos and go live.